Yo. Y'all already know how we do it, man. I'm sipping from. I'm a red cup boy tonight, man. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the swiggeroony out of this joint, man. Yo, the shot's gonna be for the Knicks because they balling right now. They better beat the Rockets after the fucking Knicks lost to the Lakers the other day. But we're gonna talk about that stuff during the week, man. But the Lakers is the topic of discussion. So let's take a shot for the Knicks first.
Let's go. Let's go to it. Come on.
Salute.
Peace.
Yo,
I'm going light tonight, gentlemen. Hold on. I want to welcome everyone back to Real Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your boy Cash, and you already know how I got with me, my boy Jay and my boy Q. What's good, my brothers?
We in the building. You know that. It's good to be back. You know, there's a lot going on, a lot of
Wow,
activity, a
couple
lot
of
of
days.
movement. You know, we got
Word.
the trade deadline approaching, but before the trade deadline, shit got real hot real quick.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, y'all saw it like we did. You know, so it's crazy.
Let's get all our fiscal responsibilities out the way real quick. Q,
Yeah.
pay some
Yo,
bills, man.
Yeah, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. You know, we just got our first sponsorship, Underdog Energy Drink. All right. Yo, make sure you go cop it. Underdog's new Patriot Pop flavor delivers a bold, refreshing blend of cherry lime and blue raspberry flavors, embodying the spirit of freedom and determination. After the success of the original UD Energy formula, this updated formula focuses on clean, sustained energy for mental clarity, removing beta-alanine and 18P for a streamlined approach to fueling peak performance. All right, crafted for athletes who push boundaries and live to defy the odds. This drink is your ultimate tool for focus, energy, and recovery without compromise. With no artificial additives and sugar-free flavors, it's as clean as it is effective. You heard? Make sure to buy yours ASAP and use promo code RealSportsTalk10 for an additional 10% off your purchase. Go check out the website. There's other stuff there as well, like some workout gear. Check out udenergy.shop.
You nailed it, my G. You got it, my brother. You want it. Let's go. Yo, so look, like Jay said, man, a lot of shit going on. This is a busy week. Super Bowl's coming up. Like, this new shit kind of swept the Super Bowl preview shit right under the fucking rug.
It's
You know what I mean? Which is
Patrick
crazy, right?
Mahomes is tight.
Yeah, yo, but not for us though. Our Mahomes clip is taking off. I can't figure this YouTube shit
Right.
out. But either way, yo, this is a crazy week, man. You know, if you don't know what happened, come up out from under that rock and come join us. You know what I'm saying? The Luka AD shit. Listen, trades. I get it. Yo, listen, I get excited off of trades, bro. Hot stove, off season talk, trade deadline shit. You know, trade deadline moves. That shit's exciting, man. That's like, I don't know. I live for that type of shit. Even if when it's not my team, I love that shit. Just excites me, man. And nothing was bigger than Saturday night, man.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Listen, I know y'all heard 1,000 different media outlets talking about this, but you gonna get you gonna get our take on this, man. Saturday night, the end of the fight, one of the best fights we've seen in a while. In the last, I'd say, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, between light heavyweight David Benavidez, and David Morrell. What a great fight! Shout out to David Benavidez. Shout out to Jose Benavidez Senior, my guy, friend of the show, the whole bit. So that's on, and the whole thing was a great card. We should get into that later. But great card, Pitbull, Kermel Moton, Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy, the whole shit, good card. But so the fight's over, and I'm talking to Q. Right, me and him, you seen the fight. We're a little saucy, we're hype and shit. Niggas, we was outside the bar. We might have got into a scrap or something. You know how that go. Good thing we stay my old ass home and shit. But so then the shit comes across, the right when I'm talking to him, I think it came across my ESPN app or some shit, one of them apps, and I'm like, yo, AD. Like everyone else, I double take for a second, right? Now I hear a lot of people saying, yo, they thought Shams got hacked. That never really crossed my mind. I just was in like shock. I was like, yo, this shit can't be, man. It feels like, first thing that actually came to my mind was like, yo, it feels like the league wants the Lakers to always be relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't give the three biggest markets in America, right? Basically, I believe are New York, Chicago, and LA, right? LA always gets the love. It took us forever to climb back to get back. That's neither here nor there, man. But AD, Luka, You know, there's some other pieces that was in there, but the meat of the trade pause is 80 Luka. And listen, I can't think of a bigger trade, man. I can't think of a bigger type of trade of this magnitude, something that has league changing, balance of power shifting ramifications, and the shit that shit that's affecting the future and the present, right? The present for the for the Mavericks and the future of the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? There's been big trades before, let's be honest, but I don't think none of this. And I heard people saying that the first thing they're saying, this is the biggest trade ever. This is historical, and I'm like, prison of the moment, hyperbole shit. Then I really start to think about it. I can't think of a bigger trade, but I think this is the biggest trade in history, and maybe one of the weirdest fucking trades in history. So look, I'll give my take last, man. Q, what was your take when you heard this, and what do you think's going on here, man?
Yo, it's like so many different ways you can speculate about this. Like, number one, I don't know what the fuck the Mavericks, like, for them to have to want to move and go away from Luka, and to accept Anthony Davis. Like, Anthony Davis is not going to make them Super Bowl NBA champions finals contenders at this moment. I don't. Like, look, they already went there last year.
Interesting.
You know,
let's go.
They already went there last year. You know what I mean? Like, they already went there last year, and I don't see that happening. Like, I really don't. And then to trade your best player, 25 years old. You know what I mean? Still got probably another maybe like 8 to 10 years, probably a high level basketball. You know what I mean? Like,
if he puts down the hamburger, for sure.
Yeah. That's a whole different subject. But you know, for them to do that, I think there's underlying issues. I think there's stuff that nobody even knows. You know, nobody got wind of this. Like, this was like some top secret covert black ops type of trade to this extent. And I think there's other things there. Like, dude, does the Mavericks think that Luka's not going to be able to stay healthy anymore? Like, what maybe they didn't want to pay him, but I don't see that being a real one. You know, like, I even heard a fan on one of the radio shows talking about how maybe Luka has like a drinking problem. I'm like, so you don't think he's still going to drink on LA? Like, that shit is a crazy party city, yo. You know what I mean? Like,
well, we all saw Michael Finley snatch the beer out of his hand last year. You know what I'm saying? We all saw that shit was funny when you saw it, but now you look back and like, okay, so that was part of something, an underlying problem or an ongoing problem. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it could be that. You never know. But LeBron and them going to put pressure on him to stop this shit. But go ahead.
No, yeah, and I think now the Lakers, you know what I mean? They definitely got 100% totally better. You know, like it's gonna be a problem. You know, like, and it's gonna be. And as weird as it was, this all happened right after they beat the Knicks. I'm like, come on, man, this is some fucking weird shit, man. Like, yo, they beat the Knicks, and then a couple hours later,
AD stood out, and I was like, that's why I'm thinking they knew, but supposedly they didn't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and it's just a lot of things to speculate, and I'm hoping that, you know, they do give some type of press conference and be transparent with the league and the fans, because we want to know. You know what I mean? Like, he had a lot of years, and now, you know, like, you're moving in the same division, you know, that now they have to defend themselves against, you know, SGA and the Thunder, because, you know, that's the team to beat in the West. But it just doesn't make like a good business move. Like, something really must have been irking you, and you really had no faith in Luka to trade him to another team within the same conference, in my opinion. When you know there's other teams out there that fucking, you know, this is like the same shit like Barkley. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna use Saquon Barkley.
Didn't even put out a
Didn't
phone call.
Didn't call nobody. They didn't even stop it. And then another thing I feel is that, you know, Silver, I'm pretty sure if this was maybe a couple of years ago, they probably would have vetoed this shit, and you know, he would
like David said with the Chris Paul shit, remember?
Yeah, which was crazy, because that wasn't even like to this degree of type of trade to Chris Paul. You know, he wasn't his prime, but he was a point. Like, let's be honest, like, Chris Paul wasn't no Luka.
He did it to Chris Paul shit, but let the Pau Gasol robbery fly, which was crazy. Everyone at that time, everyone thought the Lakers was sticking up.
Yeah.
You know, the Grizzlies, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and let's think about it. You think he wants to stop this trade from going through? He knew he needed it, because now it's potentially probably going to make the ratings go up. We know he needs it, you know, because the NBA ratings ain't really that great too. So now he's put in a pickle. He's like, damn, I really can't even be the commissioner at this point.
All right, hold on. I got to stop you there, because I gotta play a clip now. Cause now we getting into conspiracy shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Let me play this clip and then I'll let you build on your point. Then Jay, you go here. Ready?
Davis. Well, hold on a second. Now, I'm being an IBO when I say this. If I ran the Milwaukee Bucks, okay, and the Mavericks called me up and said, we're going to stun you here, but we're going to make Luka available, but we'll trade him to you for Giannis. And I know that sounds like a fantasy, but so was this whole thing. If I'm the Bucks, I'd consider it. He's 30 years old, so he's 5 years older. I'm convinced Giannis will not age kindly. He's an athletic freak, but he's never developed an outside shot. So what's Giannis when he's 33 years old? So in theory, as an IBO, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'd have been like, sure, I'll trade Giannis for Luka. Well, the Mavericks never found out because they literally didn't open up the offers to anybody else, and that's why it feels shady, especially taking a year in which all the criticism has been around the league that there isn't that much interest, the ratings are down, and then poof, all of a sudden one of the biggest stars in the sport ends up in L.A.? Like, we have to open our eyes and at least have a conversation about this. It feels rigged. It feels dirty. And remember, I'm the kind of basketball fan that doesn't think the lottery's fixed.
Right.
I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I'm reacting to what we all saw late Saturday night, what we're still digesting on.
I don't love Evan. I don't hate him. I don't love him, but listen, I love a good conspiracy. You know me. My whole life is conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy to me. You know what I'm saying? I wake up in the morning, the bus is late. Yo, it's a conspiracy. You feel what I'm saying?
Doing some shit. Some shit going on.
Some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how we make a condition now. But nah, Q, you were right on the money with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think of that, until I heard that. I think it could be, Jay. What do you think?
I'm not gonna go into that. I don't think it's this.
They be blessing the Lakers though, B. They always bless these niggas.
It's that part of it. Maybe if you want to look at it through that lens, I think the Lakers onlys are relevant. They're not remember the Lakers don't have another stream of income other than the Lakers. They're not a team that was built, like the Mavericks were built by a billion. Well, not built, but were purchased by a billionaire. And now they're purchased by a billionaire group.
His tech was his main shit.
Tech, right? So there's the Lakers are and the Lakers are a mainstay. So we have to be honest with ourselves that there is a vested interest in the league seeing the Lakers do well, because when the Lakers are doing well, the league itself is not unfortunately, but fortunately for them, doing well. As far as this trade, there was a lot that I think went into, and there's a lot to unpack. There is the conversation to be had about Luka's conditioning, and the guy's north of 265 pounds. He should be coming in at 230. That's a lot of weight to be over. 35 pounds is a lot of weight. That's not, 10, 15. You're almost nearing the concerns that you have for Zion, for that type of a player. Maybe not because of the style of play, but the amount of weight. Now, if you think about it through this lens, Luka's been in the league, 8 years, and he's only played over 70 games twice.
Yeah.
There's a lot that can be said about that, because conditioning has to do with it. And when you're not conditioned, you'll have those soft tissue injuries, which he's kind of known for. But if I have to look at it, whereas what team got better, I'd say that the Dallas Mavericks actually got better.
I agree.
The Dallas Mavericks were in the finals last year with Luka. Yes, I get it. But what was missing when we watched those games? There was no defense being played by Luka. Dallas is in a situation where they lost Lively, who was their Energizer Bunny and the defensive guy in the middle, things like that. He's out for, with the leg injury, so he'll be out for a considerable amount of time. You bring in a guy who realistically is probably one of the best scorers in the league in Anthony Davis. So now you bring in that offense, and you bring him in with a reinvigorated Kyrie Irving, who's playing out of his mind in Luka's absence. And guess what? Kyrie's unselfish. He doesn't have a problem with giving up the basketball. Kyrie doesn't need the basketball. Now, if you look at it through the Lakers standpoint, both of those guys need the ball. Yes, LeBron can defer if he needs to, and he's absolutely a willing passer, but he needs the basketball. I mean, that's really his bread and butter. He can play all 5 positions, but he's best when he's got the ball in his hands. AD, you can put him on the post. He has a significant jump shot when necessary. He can rebound the basketball. He's a two-way player. You put him in that offense with Jason Kidd, and you got a run and gun type of a situation with Kyrie Irving, who knows how to find him if necessary and can also be a threat to score the basketball at any given moment. Why does that team not get better after that? You still got Gafford. You still, Lively will be back. He's injured now, but he will be back.
You got shooting with Splash Brother.
Absolutely. You got Klay Thompson, and he's on the backside of his career. But guess what happens when you bring in Anthony Davis? What does it do for a shooter like Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
It gives him those corner threes that he so covets. So however many ways you look at it, I feel that the Dallas Mavericks got better. Now, down the road, could we look at this and say, hey, the Lakers won because maybe this is a wake-up call, and now you see Luka start to train with LeBron, and LeBron is notorious for taking care of his body. Maybe that rubs off on Luka, and he starts to recognize the seriousness of it. And the talent is there all day. Imagine if the guy's in super shape. Then imagine the guy looks like our model on the screen here, right?
Yeah, right.
Then you start to see a difference in what the Lakers will become. And of course, he'll be there long after LeBron is gone. If this is LeBron's last year, you already got the next golden boy in place, and now you start to build around Luka.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Jay, I agree with everything you said. And Q, respectfully, I definitely think the Mavs got better short term, and I think potentially, the Lakers got a better, like you said, long term. Is the exit strategy for an aging superstar LeBron. That future's in place now. So now they got to build around him. But in the short term, they're lacking rim protection. You hear them trying to maybe get Mitchell Robinson or whoever else is on the market. We all know the names that possibly could be ready at the trade deadline. But the problem with the Lakers right now, they need rim protection, but I don't know if Luka and LeBron is going to work right now. I know it's possibly this could be LeBron's last year, but I don't think it is. Watching him play against the Knicks the other night, he can still go another year. Now he's probably, like you said, he's probably going to be reinvigorated a little bit because he got Luka. Because they're fans of each other. He tried to sign Luka to a shoe deal. Now Jordan wound up getting him, but he tried to get Luka as a brand ambassador for the LeBron brand or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But and Luka always referenced LeBron as a dude he looked up to, his hero growing up. So now they're playing together. They're both, LeBron is unselfish. Luka's selfish, so that works out for each other. But the problem with they're both ball dominant. They both need the ball in their hands, right? I think that was the problem with him and Kyrie as well. I think they tried to gas us like, they learned to play together and everything. But it was if you really paid attention, it was your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, and it just kind of worked last year because they had a couple other pieces in place. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, those young boys in the front court. But back to the Lakers right now. That they're a fucking defensive liability, man. They have some nice pieces: Hachimura, Cam Reddish, Dalton Connect, Austin Reeves. They got some nice pieces, some scorers, some ancillary pieces in there. But defensively, LeBron and Luka on the wings, that's a turnstile, B. Luka plays no defense, and LeBron don't really play defense anymore. He's trying to conserve energy. LeBron in his LeBron in his heyday was a monster on defense, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the same when I'm on the court, I always say, I always tell the dude, you're either going to get me on the offensive end or the defensive end. It ain't going to be both anymore for me, you know what I'm saying? But they're both defensive liabilities, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a problem, man, because you look at teams like Boston, and they've been skittish lately, and people are a little bit down on Jaylen Brown. But defensively, they have those dogs, you know what I'm saying? Especially on the wings, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, monsters defensively. You could even look at the Knicks now. I know these guys ain't offensively as gifted, but Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby on the wings, monster defense. You need that. But Luka's a generational international megastar, like you said. That's what they, Lakers, that's their main, that's how they eat. And you have to have stars in the lake. You see how all the stars come out to the games. You can't have a Laker team with no superstar
devoid of super talent, right?
Right. We saw the Nick Van Exel years. We saw the years before. With Kobe, even though Kobe was just by himself. You need that megastar. I mean, you got to have that star power in LA. So I think from that standpoint, we're gonna see how Rob Pelinka, builds around them and what JJ Redick does. But from the Mavs standpoint, like you said, and I'm gonna hand it back off to Q. From the Mavs standpoint, I agree. You're losing a lot of offense, but you're gaining offense and defense. We know AD when he's on his game, both sides of the ball. I think, real truth be told, I get on him a lot because he's hurt and Barkley clothes with street clothes and all this shit. But last year he should have won Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. He when AD is healthy, I always said that, man. I wish he could stay healthy because he would give Giannis, Embiid, and joking, all these dudes are run for MVP, but he got to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy. What is it, 65 games? I think now you have to qualify for an award, I think, or some shit like that. So
Bro,
he
he
has
played
to.
76 games last year. I don't know why
Right,
people called him street clothes. He
right.
missed
But
6
before that,
games. I know, but
Yeah.
we
yeah.
gotta we have to at some point we have to be fair to the guy and say you're
Right.
only as good as your last game
As
played
your
or your
last
last
season.
season played, right? Last year the guy played 76 games, right?
Yeah.
Why? And he averaged 25 points.
Yeah.
Tell me a team that doesn't want that.
Yeah. And he goes back to the 4, which is his natural, comfortable position, right?
Absolutely.
Rebounds, defends, scores, right? Now you
And
don't
can
have
shoot.
and can shoot, right? And that's gonna draw defenders away from the basket, giving space for Kyrie to cook. You know what I'm saying? For all these dudes to cook. You know the spacing issue. And then you have the thing with Kyrie and Luka. You don't have to worry about having 2 ball dominant guys at the same time. You know what I mean? Like you said, they were in the finals last year. They hit a rock. Hit a bump this year. But Luka was hurt, and I think. Listen. I think Dallas is going to make a run. I'm not saying for sure, but if he stays healthy, I like this trade a lot in the present, not long term because he's 31 and they don't have a lot of picks coming up. You know what I'm saying? But I like the deal for Dallas, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like to me, it just didn't make sense because especially with his age, he's been in the league. Anthony Davis been in the league for 13 years, only played over 65 games 5 times, and 3 of those times is on the Pelicans in his first couple of years there.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a buck. So like, it's this proof in the pudding that he is consistently hurt. Now, obviously, if he's not hurt and he's playing, but Luka, yeah, but
In
Luka
8 years,
is
he's
different.
only played over. How? We got to be fair. In 8 years, Luka's been in the league for 8 years, right? He's played over 70 games twice, 2 times, right? He's played over 65 games. How many times, right? So when you look at it and he's been hurt since Christmas, so he's only played 22 games this year, whereas AD has played 42. So we have to be fair and look at it from both sides, bro.
No, but the difference is, and I think you touched on this, Cash, earlier, is now like look who he's surrounding himself with. Like, I think I don't care how good you are when you play around LeBron, it's like the mentality almost has to be like, all right, hold on, let me put down that burger, let me not drink that third beer. You know what I mean? I gotta change my ways. I can't look like this and fuck.
Don't let him get in shape. It's gonna be a problem. Don't let Luka get right.
Because he owned, because on the Mavericks, that was his team. He owned the Mavericks, man. No, he probably walked into that center like, I don't even give a shit. Probably with a Big Mac and his duffel bag, and everybody, working out and exercising and shit. It's gonna be the Lakers is not gonna be his team. It's eventually gonna be his team. If they eventually sign him longevity. It's just right now, like you said, like now they have to make the push, but there's still gonna be issues for the Mavericks. It's not like they're automatically better than the Thunder. They're not, I think, in my opinion. I just kind of felt like
you put that same team, and that's not to cut you. You put the same team with Luka in place of Anthony Davis against those Knicks on Saturday. Do you think that the Lakers win the basketball game?
Well, not automatically, because to be honest, we don't even know how these two teams are gonna look. Like this might not work out. Like, I eventually didn't think that Kyrie Irving was never going to be able to play with Luka. And it kind of ended up working out. Obviously not to the best of his ability because they both need the ball in their hands.
It worked. I don't think it's a perfect fit.
But it eventually worked. And I didn't think it was going to work at all. I thought that was going to be just a dud. I thought Kyrie was going to be like, oh, made a mistake, got a dip, and it didn't happen. Luka was the one.
He has a lot of respect for J. Kidd, though. That's why it worked. He has a lot of respect for J. Kidd.
I think we need to see how it's going to happen.
And Mark Cuban. So, yeah.
I think now you'll get the best version of Kyrie. Because now Kyrie can be
But
Kyrie.
let's not forget, Kyrie's been injury prone at times too. So that's where they're both liabilities.
How long ago has it been since he's been injury?
Not that long ago.
It's been a few years.
The year before last.
In Dallas, he's been pretty iron.
Yeah. You just gotta, you gotta keep your fingers crossed. But Jay didn't lend any credence to what you said earlier, Q, about the NBA ratings being down and the league kind of wanting a superstar. The old adage is, the league is better when the big markets have the big superstars. And I know that with the internet now, people go, no, you don't need to do it. You can have endorsements and the what. But I still believe when you have a big time, when New York is good, the league is good. When LA is good, the league is good. When Chicago is good, the league is good. I just feel like when those three cities, make shit flow. I kind of agree with you a little bit, man. I think I don't want to say it's a conspiracy, but I wouldn't shut the door to it. My whole thing is what I can't wrap my head around is if I am the Mavericks and they've been working on this for a while, how do you not make calls around the league? You have the biggest, maybe you have one of the top 3 commodities in the NBA, and you don't shop around for a deal. Like that's like saying, my house is on the market and I got the illest house, and the first person walks in and goes, I'll give you, 500,000 for it, and I go, okay, but there's a whole line of motherfuckers outside waiting to get in. I don't want to hear what they got to say. Yeah, come on. Right. Or I call you and say,
I got your answer there. Mm-hmm. Who's the best big man in basketball, realistically, right now?
Joker,
right? Mm-hmm. Is Joker going anywhere? They're not trading Joker. We know that.
How do we know that?
We don't know.
How do we know that?
We absolutely
how though?
Because you see.
What about Giannis? What about Giannis?
Okay, so stay with me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis, yes, maybe there's a situation where there's a conversation where you can have about Giannis, but remember, Giannis is coming up on free agency at some point. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal.
So Luka,
right? Stay with me. I'm
okay.
not.
Hold on. Yeah, let me put the guns away. My bad.
Shit, Jesus Christ!
He's not letting me speak.
Yeah. No. I say that the Giannis thing might be a conversation that you could have, but other than that, who else could you really have a real conversation about as far as a big man that Dallas so desperately needs? It would be Anthony Davis. You get Anthony Davis realistically, and he's coming off of what he called as well. He's coming. I think Anthony Davis has 1 year left on his deal. Is that right? Please keep me honest.
Anthony Davis. No, I think he just signed. He just signed last year or some shit. He has a couple years left on his shit. He just read up. Yeah. No. Well, matter of fact, you're right. No, matter of fact, you're right. He's eligible for a max thing. Look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So realistically speaking, this is probably the best. What do you call it? The best way to go. The Anthony Davis deal.
But how do you know? But how do we know? Maybe we could package, Chet Holmgren with some pick. I don't like this. You still got to ask around. Maybe it's not a big man. Maybe it's.
Yeah, he's a free agent in 2027.
2027. Yeah.
So like 2 more years. Okay, yeah. So.
But he's on that's actually a team friendly deal at 186.
You gotta, Jay. You don't gotta take
in comparison to what phone calls.
What do you mean? What phone calls? He's a top 3 commodity. You could be setting up picks with a win now player and a big man. Like you could get a lot for bro. They didn't get shit for Luka, bro.
Yo, they got Max Christie and they got one second pick. Rounder.
Y'all making Anthony Davis seem like he's
Anthony Davis
potatoes.
Nice, but think about this. In 6 years, Anthony Davis will be 38. Yeah, almost 38. Luka will be
37.
Luka will be 31, smack in the middle of his fucking prime. That's big, man. Those 6 years are important in the whole scheme of things.
And there's no picks. They're gonna have to make a trade as soon as Anthony Davis is getting out of here on his way out. What are they gonna do? They're either gonna have to make another big move because this is gonna be
big. Those 6 years are only big if nothing substantial happens within them.
Can you pull up the Mavericks picks if you could? Q. What'd you say, Jay?
Those 6 years are only big if nothing substantial happens within those 6. So if right now, if the Mavericks go on a run and they get two chips versus Los Angeles getting none over the next 6 years, the trade was a monumental blockbuster for Dallas.
It worked. But if he gets hurt and nothing happens, it's a monumental, the biggest failure in the history of the fucking NBA sports. Worse than Rudy.
What if they both get hurt?
Which Luka and him?
Very possible. Yes, which is very possible based on their track record.
But again, if they both get hurt, Luka has the advantage of time on his hands. AD doesn't, right? You know what I'm saying? Luka has the advantage of time. I mean, yeah, you have a point though. That like, yeah, I'm looking around the league.
Lakers are going nowhere currently constructed, bro.
No,
the Lakers
absolutely.
the Lakers have to make at least 3 or 4 more moves. Anthony Davis makes them ready again right now this year.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I agree 100% with that. I agree 100%. Like I said, in the present, in the short term, the Mavs win the deal. Possibly in the long term, possibly in the long term, Lakers win the deal because it's multifaceted, right? They have their franchise player, right? Because let's not act like he's not top 3 in the league. When Luka locked in, he's that guy. And like you said, Jay, they got the box office guy they need. You know what I'm saying? And they got the heir apparent to LeBron because long term Lakers probably win the deal, but it feels conspiracy-ish because you got Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka used to work at Nico Harrison used to work at Nike. They had that relationship with Kobe. They're good friends, and it's like it's like me having a trade, and I just call Jay. I call you up in the middle of the night. I got something for you. Fuck you, my man. Fuck everybody else. I'm gonna hook you up.
Do they not have the right to do that?
They do. They absolutely do.
They don't have to. They can say,
absolutely do.
This is what I think is the best.
But if I'm the owner, I'm saying to myself, did you give us the best option? Did you even shop around for the best? I don't know that they did, man. There's so many. I don't know. I'm on a GM. There's so many things you could do, man. There's a lot of good players in the league. What if they could have got SGA? What if they would? Who knows? What if they could have got? Why not? They both same age.
Look,
we don't even know why they traded Luka. I heard something about culture. I don't know if you even heard about that shit.
Yeah, I heard about his locker room presence.
Yeah,
right?
let me read this. Let me see if I can find this quote.
There's something that could be said about that. I mean,
let me see if I can find this quote. Okay, this is a quote from Nico Harrison, the GM of Dallas.
I saw that. I saw that statement you're about to read.
It said it's important that Jason Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes and we talk about the culture we want to create. There are levels to this, and there are people that fit into culture, and there are people that come in and add to the culture. These are two distinct things that I believe the people that are coming in are adding to our culture. That's a sub. It's a sub. And that was hip hop niggas used to. He hit him with a sub. Yeah, he didn't say his name, but he basically saying he ain't good for the culture. I don't know. But I know like this. I know a top 3 dude. That's what I'm saying. A top 3 dude. We know his fitness is. But there's been niggas that's not fit. It's not like he's Zion Williamson. There's been niggas that's been out of shape and man, they made the finals last year with this dude. But this shit don't make any sense to me, man. Shit just don't make any sense.
That's my thing. Because to do this, to pull the trigger like right now, and then something at a very large scale must have happened to be, I could understand if they didn't even make it to the conference finals last year. Then they could just be like, all right, man, we had him on the team 8 years, it's just not working, and they could probably have a laundry list of other reasons. Made it to the
finals. Y'all see him in the finals though? Did y'all actually see how this guy
Turnstile?
Yes. Guys, that shit was a problem.
But he gave you buckets though.
He gives you buckets.
Look where they are without him though. They're trash this year without him.
It's a trade though. You're trading buckets.
Yeah.
And when you watch the games against Boston, you're trading 2 or 3 buckets versus that one Luka bucket. Which is why they only won 1 game.
Yeah. You
get somebody that can give a bucket and stop a bucket with Anthony Davis. And I you know what's funny? I don't even
and Boston
like
strap
Anthony
up.
Davis. I don't even like Anthony Davis. I've hated him for years.
Nah, but
he's just one of the most annoying players.
You're
ever,
unbiased.
I'm being super unbiased with this guy right now. I'm here in Texas, so I'm watching the people. My laundry lady, she's fucking pissed. She's
I can imagine. You're right near Dallas too, right?
Yeah, I'm an hour away.
Oh, what's going on out there? How crazy is it?
They hate this shit. They don't understand it. You know what I mean?
I can imagine. Talk radio must be crazy out there.
Yeah, it's a mess. But everybody is saying basically the same thing. They're saying that that the conditioning and all the other things. I listen, I don't want to subscribe to that too much. I mean, I know it's a big deal, especially in the NBA. I think the defense is a bigger piece, and I think the culture part of it is a bigger piece. Maybe there's more there that we don't know about as far as the way he's interacting with his teammates and the coaches, and maybe how he feels about sometimes you can get high, right? Based on who you are. Maybe Luka's a little high on himself.
Excuse me.
And that happens too. Maybe they're like, all right, listen, let's move him along into his next moment. I feel bad for the Lakers because I'll be honest with you, LeBron's not going to be there but so much longer, and they have not gotten better. I think that Luka makes them better as far as scoring. It makes them worse as far as defensively. I don't, when LeBron goes, what do you have there other than Luka? And now you're starting this whole process that Dallas just got away from all over again. What do you have?
Connect. I like him. I'm really high in Connect. I like Connect.
I like him ever since. He was a much better.
Hachimura is all right.
He's all right, but he's
he had a good game
Austin Reeves. These guys are good. Like
I like Reeves.
These guys are good pieces. You know what I'm saying? They're good pieces, but he don't have it. Once LeBron leave, he doesn't have a Robin. He doesn't have a Robin.
Yeah, or a Batman for that matter, right? Whichever you want to, whichever role you want to put LeBron and him in. But even deeper than that, they don't really have an interior presence, or at that point, I don't think they have much of an identity.
Yeah, but
that's what worries me.
But I think that's all that the Mavs are actually winning is just an interior in the paint. But just think about it. How many of these points are actually made in the paint nowadays, man? Teams are scoring 130 points. 40 of them is in the paint. That means the other 80 is coming from behind the arc. Anthony Davis ain't going to be guarding the whole 5 of the team. But it's going to be a lot of 3 points. A lot of 3-pointers are going to be made, bro. And it's going to happen with or without Anthony Davis there. Let's keep it a buck.
But let's you're right, but let's think about this and tell me if I'm lying. The best teams are the guys that have the 3-point shooting and have rim protection. Look at Chet Holmgren, right? Look at dudes like, say what you want, the Joker. That's why they brought in a guy like Hartenstein, to OKC. Sengun Alprin, you know what I'm saying? Who else am I missing? On the West Coast, Wemby, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
Wemby.
Wemby. So you gotta have some type of rim protection. Look at the Knicks. We desperately need rim protection. You know what I'm saying? Now the luxury is having a guy who can protect the rim and also draw the defense out to create space, and that's when you really up. And I think AD does that shit. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you play him from the 4,
right? He could take you off the. AD used to be a point guard. He could take you off the dribble. He could step back, shoot the 3. He got post moves. He got footwork. He can go down low, and he could defend. He'll block so. I know they shitting on AD a little bit, and I kind of was too. But for the present, it's win now for Mavericks. It's win now, 100%. Win now.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But when I talk about who's winning, it's got to come with longevity. You know what I mean? Because if they don't win now or don't win in 2 years, then that's we're gonna see in the next 3 years who actually won this trade. Because if Maverick don't win in the next 2 years, I don't see them ever winning and then it was pointless to just get Anthony Davis, in my opinion.
Well, then you have the conversation also too, Q, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, or if they make the playoffs and they make the play in and they're done right away, then it almost kind of offsets it a little bit. You know what I mean?
And you know what's shocking about this shit too? In this new CBA, this collective bargaining shit with these aprons and all this complicated shit, it's so hard to make trades now. How the fuck did they pull some shit like this off? Like, it's hard, you know what I mean? And then the other thing was, they didn't fuck with Luka because, they fucked him out of $100 million because he could have signed a supermax with them, right? He could still sign a max, but I don't know, am I bugging Jay? Couldn't they have signed and traded him and let him get his bread? And then traded him?
Though? Now they're on the hook for the remainder.
No, but they could have. No, that's not. That's how it works.
They would be on the hook for that shit.
If you sign a trade, doesn't the Lakers assume that contract?
Nah, not if they sign. I don't think so. I think it has to match, or it has to. Because remember, there's a cap, right? So it's like at some
you
point,
can't take more salary back than your hours. Yeah, right. You with that second apron.
You know what I mean? So at that point. They would
have
to be responsible for a portion of that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They fucked him. Though. They fucked him.
So why take him for 300 and whatever it was, $330 some odd million, and then
they weren't able to get. Yeah, you're right. They weren't able to match that money. I'd be absolutely right. But just fascinating shit, man. It's fascinating shit, man. What do you think about the it totally swallowed up. Pause the De'Aaron Fox trade. What do y'all think about that?
Oh, that's.
Listen, I don't think that trade is really going to make San Antonio any. I think they'll be better. Let me not say that. They'll be better, right? They won. They lost 9 of their last 12. I think is the way it works with them right now. As far as just looking at their overall record, I think that they'll be a better team because he brings scoring. But I think it's going to disrupt a little bit of the continuity because now you got another point guard in there.
CP is going to the bench. I've been watching the Spurs and shit. CP look older than a motherfucker. He can still pass the rock, but he just look. They don't even let him bring the ball up. He just be running up and down the court. Yeah. Have you been watching CP?
He's been doing cardio.
Yo,
Yeah.
he be clapping. He just be flying on him and shit. Yo, this shit's crazy.
This shit is good.
And, and Wemby's only gonna get better. Wemby's probably gonna be the best big man in the league in the next couple of years. If he continues growing if he continues to grow the way he's been growing the past the past 2 years, it's gonna be scary for him.
I think he's got. I think something that Wemby's gonna have to figure out really quickly is he can't live at that 3-point line like he's trying to. That's He makes threes, but he's dying by the 3 too. Like he's spending a lot of time out there. You're the biggest thing on the fucking court. Like there's no reason for you to, because when he's firing up those threes, there's nobody down there to collect it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got a 7'4" this guy is.
Yeah.
7'4".
That can handle too.
That can handle the rock.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's got to get down there and live on the post and back to the basket on some Elijah Wan shit, but he definitely has to figure out a way to balance it a little bit. I think I saw him come down the court and literally, like I saw him come down the court with the fucking point guard next to him. The point guard passed to him, and he just let that shit fly.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
the
bro,
league.
I said, bro, if you miss that shit, who's down there to get it? Fucking Chris Paul? Like, who the fuck is getting bored?
But now I think that kind of stops because now you have a real true point guard. De'Aaron Fox is nice. You know what I mean? So now it's gonna alleviate some of the pressure that he had to do. Like now some of the responsibilities that he was taking over can go to De'Aaron Fox and he can start doing what he needs to do. He'll still be at the 3-point line to obviously draw the defenders out, but I guarantee you it's gonna be a ton of pick and rolls and it's gonna be a lot of screens. And now you have somebody who can actually move the ball around and see who takes the best shot at a higher percentage, and I think it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Yo, bro, stay in the paint, homie. You know what I mean? Like, fuck around. He's going to be averaging like 20 offensive rebounds a game or some shit,
Absolutely. And he should, Q. I mean, he absolutely should.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a guy that should be a walking double-double if I ever saw one. He should be averaging 24 and 12 easily. With no fucking problem. If he's not on a bad night. Maybe he is, right? You know what I'm saying? But I don't think so. But
I seen him live last year and saying it till you get busy. I like this trade a lot, and I like what the Spurs. Yo, NBA, watch out. Spurs, pause. They getting ready to come on strong. Pause. It was a 3-team. I think it was a 3-team deal between the Bulls, Spurs, and Bulls, Spurs, and Kings, Jazz. Right? And the Jazz was in there too, but I think the 3 main teams were the Bulls, Spurs, and the Kings. And then I think they they just all did business in the offseason, right? Because they grabbed DeMar DeRozan, right? Mm-hmm. They grabbed they grabbed DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, Harrison Barnes ended up on the Spurs. I think the Spurs got some picks. So DeMar and Zach LaVine are linking back up, right? Because they just gave up LaVine in that trade, but And the Bulls, either they're being cheap or they don't want to spend money because they just letting all these dudes go without not re-signing them.
Yeah. I can't believe they let LaVine go. Like that really.
They've been trying to Rich and them been trying to shop him for a minute. But what I like about this is the Spurs gave up a couple of picks, right? But they have a ton of picks, man. They have I was looking it up from 25 to 31. They have they have about maybe 12 or 13 picks. Second round picks from Houston, Indiana, Atlanta, first round. Yo, if you look up their picks all the way to 2031, they have a shitload of picks, right? So they get De'Aaron Fox, who I said is a dog. He's athletic, mean mid-range game, can handle. He gets buckets when you need it.
25 and 6.
Averaging 25 and 6. And they got a shitload of draft picks, stacked in the cupboard. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Leon Rose. There's gonna be another move, whether it's this year, next year. You're gonna see a series of moves. And they're gonna need it, man, because as much as I love Fox is not a great 3-point shooter. He's more of a mid-range guy. He has more of a DeMar DeRozan kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they also didn't have to give up this rookie Castle. I haven't seen him play a lot. I kind of been checking him out lately, this kid Castle, and this dude named Vassell, who I saw play. He's decent. But overall, they're not a good 3-point shooting team. Like, they're all below pretty much 30%. I think I think Fox is at 32%. Castle's below 30. I think Vassell's like shoots over 36%, and Harrison Barnes is the only one who shoots pretty decent at 40%. So they could go a different way. They can go get another superstar. They can go out and get some shooters. They can go out and maybe just build the depth around DeRozan. I mean, around Fox and Wemby. There's a lot of different ways they can go. You know what I'm saying? But I like the trade a lot, and I think Spurs are going to be fucking scary coming up. You know what I'm saying? I think next couple of years, you're getting ready to see another Spurs dynasty, man.
We got 3 days before we see a bunch of shit happen because I think this trade deadline is going to be a
fire sale.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of teams that are going to make some really significant moves based
a lot of teams.
What are the Knicks going to do? And we're going to talk about that maybe end of the week. But what are the Knicks going to do? Is Mitch out of here?
We need two things.
You said, did you see his fucking goofy ass on Instagram? Yo, I'm so tired of my man Mitch, yo, and I was such a big advocate for him for so long, and I'm just done. Like I'm fucking done. He's like, yo, I'm waiting to the doctor. Yeah. We're gonna see what they say, bro.
Yeah.
He's really the new street clothes.
Yeah, just bro, either play or don't. Like, you know, if they say if they clear you, come back and get busy. We don't want to see you face all round and fucking drunk. Like just get the
face all around the drunk.
And they just did. They just cleared him for full contact practice. So probably like another 2 more weeks.
Yeah, he's running and sprinting now and shit, right?
Yeah, and then now
it's always 2 weeks though, man.
Yo, and then now we have OG on day to day. You know, so
it's always 2 weeks with this guy.
It's always 2 weeks with this nigga.
Yeah. It's like the 2-week notice and shit.
Yeah, same shit, right?
Let me understand. Maybe it's me. I'm a little fucked up. Maybe.
But
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, man. I can't wait. Like end of the week, we're gonna start talking Knicks. We're gonna get heavy into the Giants. I got so much to talk about with the Giants, man. The Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl, all the shit they looking at. We still haven't addressed the Aaron Glenn shit. We've been on, we're gonna talk Aaron Glenn and his whole new staff, the Wilkes, the offensive defensive coordinator Wilkes. They just put an OC in place, a special teams coach. So we'll talk about the Jets when Aaron Rodgers come back. We'll talk Knicks. It's gonna be good, man. Next episode is gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get back to town business and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're good, man. What you think? We summed it up?
Yeah.
I'm
I think this is going to still continue to be a topic for the next couple of weeks. I guarantee there's going to be other different types of conspiracy theories and speculation, and there's going to be facts in between that, and we're going to have to decipher everything because I really need to find out what the hell happened.
There's more layers. There's definitely more layers. And
you think it's ever going to come out? I'm not sure though.
I don't think 100%, but I think sooner or later somebody's going to have to say something.
Yeah, I think there'll be more conversations.
The best thing for Nico Harrison is what both you guys said. If they win a chip, it quiets everything.
Yeah,
quiets everything. Like if the Knicks just win one chip, I'll shut my mouth for the next 10 years. I just want one. That's all they got to do. Just get me one. Dallas already got what? One recent. I don't know if they've ever won before. They only got one recently, right?
Nah, they got the one recent with
Jason Kidd and
Jason
everything.
Kidd
but have they won before that?
I
don't think so. They never won before that, right?
Not that I know of.
Not that I remember either. Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll see, man. We will see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Luka do look brolic right there, right?
Yeah,
Luka's a fat fuck.
If we
Luka, you fat fuck. Put down the burger and let the little boy go. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But
man,
we signing out. Hold up. I'm over here.
The Knicks are in the third quarter.
I told myself I'm gonna take it like, cause y'all don't really know. I be going hard on the show. Y'all don't see me. I be pouring like a muff. Y'all niggas don't be pouring like I pour. I be
going hard.
I be going hard pause on the show. Yo, I be fucked up after these shows, bro. Yo, I don't be. Yo, I say, you know, I'm the only nigga pouring drinks in this motherfucker, man. I got.
We're gonna have to change the show name to Stay Sober Sports.
I make one really, really powerful drink in this fucking thermos shit or whatever the shit is, and then I do the shots with y'all, and that usually keeps me an even keel. If I go too hard,
Homie said a thermos. That's just like a 50-ounce thermos.
Yo, this shit's crazy, bro. This shit's a fucking.
This
What
shit.
those girls? What do the girls carry? Their fucking coffee and they talk about it's like a cup.
It's
the fuck is the name of that shit? That's not what this is. This is some regular shit. But
what is
Stanley
it called?
Cup.
A
Stanley
tumbler.
Cup.
A tumbler.
Oh,
Okay.
Stanley.
The girls who have the Stanley Cups when they go to the mall and they fucking super big fucking thermos with the coffee, the iced coffee, and the yoga pants and shit. You know,
Yoga pants. Don't talk about the yoga pants.
yeah, you know.
No mutant. No mutants. No mutants, right, Jay?
No,
we don't do the
I don't
mutants.
fuck around with the mutants, dog. And we don't need them chasing us down behind this shit. So I don't even start.
Yo,
with them again.
can you just explain to our audience what a mutant is?
No, I cannot, because that shit'll get us banned. Yo, we're trying. No,
And Jay,
bro,
but
it
even before this, we was doing this podcast. I would text you or DM you time to time. Is
and
this a
send me,
mutant?
and I'll be like, yeah, and then I'd go after them. So so I had a bunch of people that were like really looking for me in real life in New York. Women were like, yo, we gonna kill this motherfucker. I was like,
Yo,
holy
y'all gonna
shit.
figure out what a mutant is.
Y'all figured out on y'all own, man.
Yo,
That's
is
it.
this a mutant?
Yo, peace out, way of life, guys. Hats off to all the tribe. Let's toast to
Way of
fully
life.
all those in foot long knives, y'all. Peace.
Word up.
Salute.
Peace.
They're not gonna be looking for me again.
Peace.